very, very well-known people have spoken, like Vice President Al Gore, or certain scientists have spoken. So my stepfather was very excited when I told him I was going to do a TED Talk, because he was like, oh yes, Al Gore. But I think also you can be, I saw one recently that I really loved by an improvisational comedian.
Okay.
And he, you know, he's not a big famous person. He just was really good at what he does and was really good at talking about it.
So if you judge yourself, what do you think, how do you personally think you impacted your audience? Did you leave the room with a feeling I did good, or did you leave the room with the feeling I could have done better?
You know, I did feel that I did well. That
Okay,
felt
that's good.
really good, because sometimes you go in and you go, you know, oh, I should have said this, I should have said that, and you think about it all night and go, oh, I should have said it this way. But I feel that I did the best that I possibly could, given the time that I had to put it together, and given the technology things that were going on, and so I felt, yeah, sometimes you know when you, like you as an athlete, you know when you connect with the ball.
Yeah.
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 And it goes really far. Yeah, that's how I felt. So I think that maybe if I have had an impact, I hope that it was the idea that when you see something, it's not necessarily what you think it is, and for people to put assumptions aside and listen to what others have to say about what is going on.
Has anyone ever told you that you inspired them besides me? Like, has other students told you that, or like people from the event that they said like, yeah, your speech was really good, it motivated me? Was there any incident?
I got really great feedback from the TED Talk, which was great. You know, one of the things that I really love about teaching is when I get feedback from the students, and I always feel like if I was able, if they learned something that was useful to them, then I feel really good with that, and that's part of my, what inspires me to do that. But did you tell me you inspired me? But I'm happy to. Happy to hear that.
I've been taking classes with you since I transferred here my sophomore year, and if you wouldn't inspire me, I would not take your classes again. Just being honest, because I enjoy having you as my teacher, not only because I usually do well in these classes. I just like them a lot because they are so life orientated, and you can learn so much, not only for school stuff, only for your things you can use in your daily life, and which helps me communicate better.
Plus, I told you learn how to cook.
Yes, that's
a
true.
Good life lesson. Well,
So,
I really appreciate that. Means a lot. That means a lot to me.
If we talk about your childhood, who was your role model growing up?
I think as a child it had to have been my mother, and she was, there was, and my dad too. But for my mother, she was always a great adventurer and a free spirit. And there's positives and some negatives to that, but I think that she was my role model. She was. And my dad, he's a very gentle, caring person, so to the degree that I bring that to the table, that I get from him.
Okay. And who motivated you to become a professor after being a lawyer for many years? What motivated or inspired you to be a professor? As
a lawyer, I had started doing lots and lots of trainings on harassment and discrimination and diversity, and I found that at a certain point I moved away from conflict. So as a lawyer, much of it, it's all about conflict. And often people engage in conflict in ways that are not useful. When I started doing presentations and workshops and then teaching, what I found was that I could see people change, and I could see people find a resolution that